packing, I tend to overpack. And I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be in a hot country as well, because we went around November time, so it was like we have to make sure that, like, you know, we have adequate clothing, because from what we'd read, the temperature drops in the evening, but it rises right up back again in like the morning time, and come daytime you're like sweltering. So I was like, okay, let me go to town, the city centre, and just make sure, like, you know, I buy all my good stuff and make sure I have it with me. But this is leading up, like, literally, like, a couple of days before we were about to leave. Bearing in mind, we'd both been like, oh no, we haven't packed yet. But Lisbeth had packed somehow everything she needed to, probably, what, a day or two beforehand?
I think I have started packing, not like, it was like the main things I packed.
Me being me, lastminute.com, I ended up like packing all my things probably the night before, and then having maybe a few hours sleep, and then heading to town, heading to the shops, still doing shopping and being like, oh, I need to get this, I need to get that, I need to get the other thing, and get everything together. But me being me, I was just like, no, it's fine, everything's gonna be done, it's a-okay, rah rah rah. No, because first of all, it's not like I'm packing to like go to like London or whatever to visit family and friends. I'm literally going to a different country I've never been to ever. Okay, I have to make sure I have everything adequately prepared. So if you're like me and you know how to pack, please, for the love of God, just get a list, make a list, search for it on Google or something, because the last thing you want to be doing
lastminute.com type of nonsense,
where you're literally packing at least an hour before you head to the coach to get onto the coach to head to the airport, because that's what I ended up doing. So I ended up going to the shop. The day we were travelling. Now we were going to the airport late afternoon time. So I was like, oh, we have like plenty of time.
On a Friday.
Because I didn't really remember what day it was. I was thinking Monday, but yeah. So
That's what we arrived at. But we'll go to that time.
So I'm like, yeah, it's fine, I have plenty of time, blah, blah, blah. And then as time's like getting on, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I need to get this and a bit together. So I'm packing all my things maybe like at least 2 or 3 hours before I'm supposed to head to the coach station. And I realised that, like, I haven't really packed anything. You know what? You know when you like have everything like dotted around the room, but nothing's actually in the bag? That's exactly what was going on. In fact, some things were in the bag, but it was just like basic stuff like toiletries and like window and whatever. And I was just like, oh, I actually haven't packed anything. I need to like be there like, oh yeah, like 2 or 3 hours. I was like just literally just like shoving everything. It was like just World War III in my room. It was just like, get everything in the bag right now. And then I ended up missing the coach because
we had to get a coach because we were traveling from Manchester Airport to Melbourne. So we had to take a coach from Liverpool to Manchester.
Yeah. So bearing in mind, Lisbeth was what time did you get to the coach station?
I think I got to the coach station like half an hour earlier, but I was fully packed. Obviously, I just
obviously.
So yes, that was fun. I was fully packed.
I remember I had to the coach station because actually I was messaging her like, hey, I'm leaving to the coach station now. I was text messaging her. I remember, and like, okay, and I think you said just okay, and yeah. So I left, and I was maybe 20 minutes before the coach, and I was like, where is she? Oh, she will be coming with me or not? I was like worried because she wasn't there, and I was like, oh my god, I wonder if she's coming. I don't want to go to Australia on my own. I was thinking to myself like that, and then I remember it was like 10 before the coach departure. I think I called you. Did I call you the last time?
You did, and you were like, hey,
where are you?
Where the hell are you? And I was like, so listen, like, I'm still in like traffic,
The taxi, I think it was.
Yeah, I called a taxi, and it was like, I don't know, like 10 to 4 or something. Bearing in mind, this is like the beginning of rush hour, so you have all your parents and workies just leaving the office to like go and pick up the kids, or just leave work and go home, whatever. So at the pivotal time when I was supposed to book the taxi and head to the station and be there for 4 p.m, I was just about heading into the taxi when I was supposed to be there on time.
I ended up obviously leaving her behind, and I think I rang you from the coach.
Yeah.
I was like, are you coming? Are you coming? I remember I rang her and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna take the next available coach, and I'm like, okay, but please make sure you be there. I think I was more scared to travel on my own than to miss the flight.
Bearing in mind, she was not going to miss the flight because you know why? She was there on time.
I'm like, did I text you again or rang you again?
Yeah, just let you know that you were there, just to be like, I'm here.
I'm going in.
I'm going in. Please, for the love of God, make sure you are on that goddamn coach.
Yeah, I was like, okay, thank you, sorry.
I think I even posted a video waiting on my friend. Hope she doesn't. I think I did that as well.
Ooh,
and
the shade.
Minutes after, I see her coming in, and I'm like, oh, you arrived. I was like, oh, that's so good. I'm not traveling on my own.
Yeah, because when I was going through like security and stuff, I was like, okay, because you know the thing is with me when I'm traveling, like internationally or whatever, and you have a certain amount that you can take with you, I am like, I try and make sure I am like on the dot, like the amount you're allowed, like 23k or whatever, even if it's like down a kilo, because sometimes depending on like the type of scales you have, it can either be very accurate or like completely off kilter. I didn't have to like repack anything. I do this thing that my mum taught me, which is just to pray for it, and like it works pretty much every time. Even if I'm a little bit over it, it works, and they're just kind of just bring it through, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I was in like the lounge where you're waiting, and I saw her just sitting there, just kind of like.
I hope she goes.
Like she's like speaking Spanish, and I'm like, I feel like at that point she wanted to hug me, but also like strangle me as well, and I wouldn't have allowed that. I don't allow many people to strangle me, but in that scenario, I wouldn't allow it.
It was like a roller coaster of everything, all the good emotions, like you know.
It was really long, the actual trip itself, because we went from Manchester to Abu Dhabi to Melbourne, and as you know, Melbourne is in a completely different time zone. I think it was, how many hours was it, like 20 odd hours or something like that?
20, give or take 23 hours, because we had to stop at Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah,
lovely
airport, but it felt quite like small at the same time. Like the lounge areas were quite big, but then like where you were like traveling to, like where you were walking through to get from your gates was quite like narrow, and so and like that's where also like people were stopping to like have food or whatever, and it was like,
excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, like so. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. It was just very, very long.
We traveled 11 hours from here to Abu Dhabi, and then we made a stop there maybe for 2 hours.
Yeah,
it wasn't that long.
It wasn't too long, to be fair. And even if it was, we didn't really realise.
Because we were just like, we still like packed up in the sites, and we were like, hey, Australia. Yeah, it was very long, just kind of like the trip itself, and just actually getting there was very, very long.
Right.
But we immediately picked up the moment we realised we'd landed. It was just like,
yeah,
like,
we were very excited to arrive there.
We were literally bouncing off the plane wall.
Yeah, we looked like we drank so many Red Bulls at that moment. It was literally, I don't know. It was just we get high.
Yeah, when we just like, our energy just kind of is just like bounced off each other, and we're just kind of like,
yeah, when are we gonna do that? But obviously, that part of our trip, we're gonna share it with you in another video.
Yeah.
But
Because we have a lot of stories to tell you with that one. Not all, we're not going to give too much away because it's what happens in Melbourne stays in Melbourne.
Yeah.
We also have like a few like highlights. We have 4 highlight reels on our Instagram page of quite a few of the pictures we took. A lot of them have like trees and bushes and stuff. Like, but let me tell you something about Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of them like it's where nature just went and just like had a good holiday. It just it thrived. It's so beautiful. So the reason why you see so many pictures of like trees and bushes and stuff is because they were just so like, we'd never seen something like that before, and we just had to take a picture. You know, we were very in our touristy element. You know what I mean? We took at least like 3,000 pictures.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
trees.
of just trees, not just all of trees, but maybe like 1/3 of them were like trees and bushes and flowers and being around nature. So be sure to check that out as well.
Yes. Well, we reached to the end of our video. Hope you like our experience of how we like started in our journey like together, how we became closer to each other. Thank you so much.
So yeah, we're gonna like Elizabeth said, we're gonna continue the Australia video another time. You will be obviously notified of that, and the only way you can do that is by tapping that bell. Is it up here or down there? It's somewhere anyway. The notification bell. That's what you need for every video that we upload every Wednesday.
Also, if you can please like, subscribe, share with
everyone.
everyone you know.
Cats, dogs.
You still know it. Like us, for
Yeah.
example. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon into another video.
Bye.
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 See you later.